We really appreciate the chance to meet you and hang out with you. Now, let's think a little about where did Roblox come from? How did it begin? I think it literally came from when I was 3 years old, playing with my very first building toy. This is a Tupperware building toy, the same people that make refrigerator storage containers. And my parents bought me this when I was about 3, and I started loving to build stuff. Over the years, I've had just about every kind of building set you can imagine. Actor set, piano, you name it. And as I got older, rather than just using building kits, I started to build all kinds of stuff. I built model rockets, I built kites, I built go-karts, I rebuilt engines. I love to build stuff with my hands. Finally, when I was in high school, a magical present kind of arrived. The hottest gaming computer on the market, a super powerful Apple II with about 64,000 bytes of memory. So 64,000 bytes, the laptop running right over here has about 10,000 times the power of my first laptop. But I started programming on this laptop, and in those days, rather than using Roblox script or Lua, you had to use assembly language, 6502 assembly language, and literally, twist every bit and every byte on the computer. But I started copying all of the games that I saw in the arcades, lunar lander games, physics games, vehicle games, and this is kind of where I developed my love of physics simulation. So I kind of got into this. I went to college, had a few jobs, but then about a year or two after college, I founded my first company to make physics educational software. The company was called Knowledge Revolution. Our product was called Interactive Physics. And Interactive Physics was kind of a 2D physics lab on the computer. Had a physics engine, you could design physics experiments and run them. And it had a lot of the kind of same technology as games you may be familiar with now. 2D physics games like Angry Birds or Cut the Rope or Ryan Runner. And it was at this place that I met a really incredible programmer named Eric Castle. He's really kind of the co-founder of Roblox and an extraordinarily talented programmer. We worked together at Knowledge Revolution and worked out interactive physics, and over the years, we won many, many, many awards, including several Mac User Editor's Choice Awards, which at the time was kind of the best award you could ever win anywhere. So we were very successful. We sold that company, but after we sold it, we started looking back at how are kids really using interactive physics, and a lot of them were not using it for school. They were using it to torture blocky characters with crazy Rube Goldberg machines. And if you go on YouTube right now and look up interactive physics, you're not going to see a lot of physics lessons. You're going to see tens and hundreds of crazy mechanical Rube Goldberg kind of simulations. So light bulb kind of went on in our head, and when we started thinking about what's the next thing to do, I started thinking, what would be this kind of ultimate 3D, physically simulated online toy world where people could just about build anything? And we started making a prototype. This is the very first prototype of Roblox. You can see the names are different, but some interesting stuff. The core idea of making a place, sharing it with other people, was right there. If you look at the types of games we were hoping people would make, you can see a lot of these games are on Roblox today. And the idea of sharing models, that was made by other people. We were thinking about that. We knew we wanted to have all kinds of competitive things, not just for building, but for combat and for designing interesting clothing. That was there, as well as the idea of social community. So, could drive, and you could take apart. You could see how they were built, you could put them back together again. And this really is our vision today. So this is where we're going. This is what we want Roblox to look like ultimately when we meet our goal. We looked at a lot of names. You saw Dynablox and GoBlox. Actually, if you go online, both of those URLs will point back to Roblox. So we own all of those. But we did a lot of testing with lots and lots of people. And we came up with this idea of robot meets blocks or Roblox. You can buy the URL, trademark it everywhere, so we got a great name. Here's version 1 of Roblox, when we went live. Now, this is a great lesson in persistence because version 1 of Roblox was more of a puzzle game. It was not multiplayer. It was not online. You did not have a character. We tried it for a while. Eric and I
Me and Nathan played at that time. Yeah.
All of these things can make it sticky and fun and exciting. So boom, very soon after version